All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the fourth part of the show, we're going to now get into talking about the Sunday night game between the Bills and the 49ers. Bills coming off of a bye, 9-2. The week before that, they had that signature win against the Chiefs at home. 49ers getting blown out by the Packers. Banged up 49ers team. They had no Brock Purdy. They had no Nick Bosa. Actually, they opened up the practice window for Dre Greenlaw, so that's encouraging. Hopefully getting him back at some point, but who knows. And for this game here, we could be seeing snow. Brock Purdy did some light throwing recently and didn't feel any pain, so maybe he's on track to play. I think they need him back because, we saw with Brandon Allen. Again, I don't know if the 49ers win. I did pick them to win with Purdy, but when he was rolled out, I changed quickly. I'm like, there's no way Brandon Allen's going in there to Lambeau and beating the Packers. It's been a hard year for the Niners. And, if Purdy does play in this game, they do have a better chance. But the Bills are playing really well right now. And they're coming off of a bye, like I said. And I think, if you don't have Nick Bosa for this game, it's going to be hard for that 49ers defense to stop Josh Allen and the offense. And Josh Allen, he's up for MVP. He's been playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, as he usually is. If they don't have Nick Bosa, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. And then for the 49ers offense, with Brock Purdy coming back, it's going to help. They definitely will be a more competitive opponent, but the offense is just not the same like it was last year. Brandon Ayuk injury really hurts them. Ricky Pearsall just coming back. He's still trying to get his footing. Deebo Samuel has had a rough year. I don't know what's been going on with him, but I shouldn't say that because, he's missed some time and, then of course he had pneumonia. So, maybe he's still dealing with the after effects. I don't know. But he's had a very tough season. And, the drops were a problem last week against the Packers. There were a couple of passes that went right through his hands. One of them led to an interception. So I don't know. And people are talking about is the explosiveness gone? I don't know. I think it's just one of those years where it's just things aren't going right. And when he's right, he is a special player. But he really has not had the year that we're accustomed to seeing from him. George Kittle has been great. Even with Brandon Allen at quarterback, he's still making plays. Had a touchdown against the Packers. He still looks like himself. But, guys got to step up. Christian McCaffrey, since he's come back, he hasn't looked right. Might not be 100%. Who knows? They need to get him going in this game. Because if they can get him going, then, we could have a shootout. But I could definitely see this game getting out of hand early if the Niners aren't able to, keep it close and sustain drives. Because, if you let Josh Allen and the Bills go up by a couple scores on you, you're not coming back. Even with the 49ers and their offense. And usually that's what the 49ers do to teams, but they have not done that this year. And it's for a lot of different reasons. I think mainly it's because of injuries. But even before a lot of these injuries, Brandon Ayuk wasn't playing well. That whole contract situation thing really created a distraction. And unfortunately for him, he ends up getting hurt against the Chiefs, and he's out for the year. And hopefully he bounces back next year. But then you got guys on defense. Dre Greenlaw getting hurt in the Super Bowl doesn't help. Ufanga being out. Bosa now being hurt. It's just Javon Hargrave. It's just there's a lot of injuries that they've had to deal with. Trent Williams, McCaffrey. It's just It's been a rough go for them. And, I said, hey, maybe, they could split between the Packers and the Bills. They might go 0-2 in this spot. Like I said, if Purdy does play, they have a better chance. But it's going to be tough. The defense is going to have to step up and get stops, and I don't know how they're going to do that. They let Josh Jacobs run all over them. James Cook could maybe have a similar game. I think the Bills are getting Dalton Kincaid back. He didn't play against the Chiefs, so that's another weapon you got to deal with. We'll see if Keon Coleman plays. I know he's been banged up. Amari Cooper was dealing with an injury of his own, but he made his return against the Chiefs and made a couple of big catches, so you're gonna have to deal with him. It's gonna be a tough go for the Niners, and of course Josh Allen, can do both. He can beat you with his arm, he could beat you with his legs, and the Niners are a team that they struggle against mobile quarterbacks. We've seen that in the past, and Josh Allen is going to be a guy that is going to give them problems. So, as of right now, I do like the Bills in this spot. The line is pretty big. It was at 6.5. I think it's now up to 7. And it's weird to see that the Niners being a team that's a 7-point underdog. You usually don't see that. But I think also it's because we don't know if Purdy is definitely playing or not. I think, the 49ers are trying to be cautious with him. They gave him rest, I believe. Well, yeah, they let him rest the shoulder. So hopefully between that and, doing some light throwing, not experiencing any pain, that'll lead to him being on track to play. And, that gives the 49ers a chance. And the 49ers got their backs against the wall. How are they going to respond? Now, if they don't have Purdy, I really give them no chance to win this game. But if Purdy does play, I give him a puncher's chance to go in and maybe knock off the Bills. But you're going to have to keep up with the offense because, Nick Bosa being out, that really has affected them. And, don't sleep on the Bills' defense. The Bills' defense has played well this year, too. They have played well. And, they could definitely give the 49ers some problems. Obviously, if there's no Trent Williams in this game, that's a big loss. Because he is arguably the best left tackle in the NFL. And if you don't have him, then, that's going to make your life harder. So, but yeah, right now, I think either way at this moment, even if Purdy does play, I'm probably leaning towards the Bills. Now, I don't want to give up on the 49ers. I don't. I don't want to just say that, yeah, this is it for them and they got no shot because they still have a chance. They're 5-6. They're in last place right now in their division, but it's not over yet. There's still some time. I give the Seahawks credit for being in first place in the division, but I think the 49ers, they got to snap out of this, right? They got to snap out of this. If they end up missing the playoffs, I'm curious to see what ends up happening. Would they let go of Kyle Shanahan? I don't think so. I think it's just that they'll look at it and say, hey, look, we got injured. We couldn't overcome it. We'll run it back next year. And I think that'd be the right thing because, yeah, you had a ton of injuries. This was literally like 2020. And this image that I have up is from 2020. And they're not even playing in the 49ers stadium in this game. They're playing in Glendale, Arizona. And the Bills won this game pretty handily. But the 49ers were really banged up here. It's kind of similar. But unlike 2020, 2024, they still got a shot. At this point, they were kind of done. But here, look, you just got to string together some wins. And you're back in this thing. So get your quarterback back and hope that he, plays well. And, maybe the defense rises to the occasion without their best pass rusher. We'll see if he does end up playing, but I really don't like his chances right now. But things could always change. So, and try to get Christian McCaffrey going. What happened to Jordan Mason? He was off to a great start, and, now he's kind of been forgotten. I know he got a little bit banged up too, but, rely on your running backs. Try to slow down the pace of this game. Because, like I said, if the Bills go up by a couple of scores, the 49ers are not going to be able to come back. That's going to open up the floodgates, and they're going to be playing from behind. So, let's see. Like I said, let's see how they respond with their backs against the wall. They're fighting for their playoff lives right now. The playoffs really start for them now. And I think the best chance for them right now is to win the division, because you look at, well, then again, I mean, the Commanders are struggling. They got the final wild card spot, because you look at the first two wild card spots, it's the Vikings and the Packers. I don't think anybody's catching up to them. So I think you're going to have those two NFC North teams. You're going to have three NFC North teams make the playoffs. But then it's that last wild card spot. You got the Cardinals behind the Commanders, but the Commanders have the tiebreaker over them. The Buccaneers are 3 games back. The Rams are 3 games back. The Niners are 3 games back. And then you still got the 4 and 7 teams, the Bears, Cowboys, and Saints, but I don't think they're making it. So, and the Commanders, you got the Titans coming in who are playing well. None of the games they have left remaining are gimmies. So, Commanders could fall out of a playoff spot very easily if they don't snap out of this. So maybe if the Niners, win games and, you sneak in as that 7 seed, you'd be the best 7 seed so far since the playoff format changed. But the Packers did win last year against the Cowboys as the 7 seed. So, but I think the best chance for the Niners to make the playoffs is the division. It's not over yet. They split with the Seahawks, but you still got another game against the Rams. You still got another game against the Cardinals. Hopefully they get guys healthy and they can go on a run. I'm still not jumping off just yet. I think if they lose to the Bills here, which I think is probably what I'm leaning towards, things might not be looking good. I might be on the doorsteps of maybe walking away, but right now I'm not giving up. So I do like the Bills to win, though. Maybe the Niners prove me wrong, but I say they win. It's a big number, though. But I'll say the Bills win. I think they win maybe 27-20, something like that. But we'll see. If Brock Purdy plays, maybe I might change my mind and give him another chance. But we still got some time. Hoping he does play, though. But let me know what you guys think, though, about this game. Who do you think wins? Let me know in the comments. So we are going to take our final break of the show now. And then when we come back, we will take a look at the remaining games in the NFL. We'll also, before we do that, we'll take a look at the college football matchups for this weekend, take a look at last week as well, take a look at the updated playoff bracket, all of that when we come back from our final break of the show. So for one final time today, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.